I've read the book so many times in my life, but I think that I hadn't read it for a few years before I sat down to kind of think about adapting it. So the first thing I did before I reread the book again was to write down everything that I remembered from the book. And it was such an interesting process because, of course, there were things in there that I remembered so clearly, and then there were things that I completely imagined, a sort of like wish fulfillment. And so therefore, when I kind of went back to the book as it was sort of about looking at, my relationship to it, my interpretation of it, and kind of, working out what to keep from both in order to sort of have that feeling, not just of that incredible book, but of something, a reimagining of it. I think in Gothic literature in general, there is a huge, there's a real preoccupation with the sort of pleasure and pain and sort of sex and death. It's a sort of, it's the root of the Gothic, really. And so it was important that we kind of said right from the get-go that the world that they live in, we're only really portraying the world as it was at the time, which was that going to see a hanging was a sort of recreational bit of fun. And, it was important to me to kind of establish the kind of world that people lived in at the time, which wasn't sort of romantic and beautiful. It was disturbing in lots of ways. And so I don't think you can adapt Wuthering Heights, which is an extremely difficult, complicated, often troubling book, and shy away from those elements. So it was always important to kind of fold those in. It's certainly, a lot of it is just taken from the book. So even if, I might have sort of slightly changed the context of scenes, a lot of the dialogue, most of the dialogue is still Bronte, even in those kind of slightly more transgressive scenes. So I think that the book itself is very, in fact, I would say possibly even more kind of sadomasochistic maybe than the movie is. And so I always feel that I hope to establish quite early on where we want to push things for everyone's sort of comfort level and for everyone's sort of preparation. But I feel like this movie is actually much more tender and beautiful and romantic and human than it is sort of controversial, maybe. Well, I think that certainly the films that I go back to again and again are the ones that make me really feel, that really connect with me emotionally. And those are films like Gone with the Wind and It's a Wonderful Life and Titanic and Romeo and Juliet and Sense and Sensibility, and I think that, I wanted to make a film that could maybe attempt to give the same emotional connection to an audience that the book gives to a reader. And so, I think that it's really important, the physical thing of going to watch a film. People laughing and squirming and crying and gasping, that's an experience. That's an emotionally engaged and physically engaged experience. And so that's what I feel like I feel like we've been missing it for a while. And that's what Titanic did. I was a kid, but I went back with my friends again and again and again because I was so invested, because I cried so much at the end. I just think it's something we all need and require.
Hated it.
Yeah, it was the best for me.
No, it was the best. It was really good. I've obviously watched Jacob work before. I was a producer on Saltburn, and he's incredible in that film and honestly in everything he does. But to get to actually be in the scenes with him in this instance was, there've been a few moments in my career where I've genuinely forgotten that I was on a film set and forgotten that I wasn't that character, and it's those moments. It happened once. I remember when I was doing Mary Queen of Scots, I had this huge scene with Saoirse Ronan, and there'd been so much build up to doing the scene, and by the time we did it, we came at it so hard and so intensely, and it kind of like transcended time and space in that I forgot that I wasn't Elizabeth and she wasn't Mary, and we weren't really, it was like moments like that I think I keep chasing as an actor, and I want to have it again. And yeah, I got to have that again here. There were moments where like we were so in it that I was like, wow, we kind of just, that was movie magic just then, when we kind of jumped into a different world for a second there.
We had a actually kind of an elaborate rehearsal, and we'd always make sure that we have 2 weeks really to explore movement and explore the text and get the scenes up on their feet and talk about them. She really allows that time, which is a super rare thing, especially on a film that's this size. So it's just kind of a testament to her as a director, the time that she gives you in pre-production to develop what you're going to do on the day.
Well, we would watch their footage, yeah, and they're exceptional actors. Charlotte and Owen play young Kathy and Heathcliff, and honestly, I don't think this movie would be what it is if they didn't do such an exceptional job, because the movie starts and ends with them, and that's kind of where your heart is too. You always hope that you're going to kind of live on in that version of Kathy and Heathcliff. So them being as strong as they are as actors was imperative to this film working. And yeah, they would do scenes and then we would kind of watch it, and I would try and mimic some things, looks or whatever. I believe in theatrical experience so much. I don't think there's anything like going to the movies. It's my happy place, and I don't know, I often liken it to seeing a movie for the first time in the cinema versus seeing a movie for the first time at home or on your laptop or whatever. And trust me, I've seen some of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, movies from the 70s or something. I obviously didn't see that in a cinema. But it's kind of like hearing a song played live at a concert or hearing it on the radio in your car. Like, it's still a brilliant song no matter what, but you can't really ever get back that first experience of it. And if it's a communal experience and like an immersive sort of experience where the sound is around you and people are around you and reacting at the same time, it just kind of elevates the moment, I think.